what you want, and you're working on the things as you go along, you're going to be able to make your choices very easily about, well, should I do it this way or should I do it that way? Okay? And a lot of the fog and the obstacles and just all the clutter is going to disappear, and you're going to be able to see what it is that you need and want to do to really complete it. Now he mentioned one-pointed intention, and there's five different elements to that. Being unbending, refusing to allow obstacles to consume you, having unshakable serenity, commitment, and intense passion. Okay? And if you put all those together, it's quite the cocktail. Now, some of them on their own, if you take unbending on its own, well, that can actually, too much of that can actually be a negative. But you throw in these other pieces to the cocktail, these other ingredients. If you've got that unshakable serenity with that, with the unbending, it's a whole different picture. And I'll tell you guys, and those of you who know me will know this is true, one of my biggest strengths, and I'd say it's the quality that attracts most of my clients to me, is my ability to see possibility. Possibility. I don't take no for an answer. No, when it comes to going after what I or my clients want. I mean, imagine there's a tree falling in the road, right? There's this tree, big oak tree, right across the road that you're on. That's an example of a no. But you know what? There's almost always a way around. And I work with clients to find it. I mean, all I see is possibility, and it serves me in my life so well. I'm passionate, I'm committed, and I'm clear, and I usually get what I want. Now, I want to be clear here, though, all right? I'm not talking about driving and pushing, right? I'm talking about coming from a place of possibility, okay? Possibility and ease. And keeping in mind, let's not forget last night's law, the law of doing less and achieving more. So this isn't about doing more, right? I can't, and I always forget this. So I want you to think back a little bit right now, too. Think about the things that you've been really clear and specific about and that you've really wanted in your life. A great example is last year, well, the year before last is when it started. I had attended in my hometown a huge business luncheon, like 700 people. It was a Women of Influence business luncheon. And it was just such a thrill to be there. And I thought afterwards, it just popped into my head, I'd really like to speak at this event. And then this little voice in my head went, don't be crazy. Don't be crazy. And I just, went home back to LA, and it kept coming back into my head, I want to speak at this event. So I went ahead, and so I had this clear vision in my head now. Wasn't going to shake. I was like, all right, that's, I could see myself on that stage. It was very clear and specific. So I went ahead and emailed the lady that runs it. Actually, you know what I did? No, the first time I called her. I happened to have a number, and I just called her. And I said, Carol, I said, it's a little crazy maybe, but, for my 40th birthday present to myself, I'd really love to speak at your event next year. And she took a breath, and there was a pause, and she said, well, we usually have names, as in celebrities, but, don't take that as a no and submit your information. And to cut a long story short, I would I sent off all my stuff, and then I'd let it be for a couple months, and then I would check in, like every 3 months. I didn't I planted the seed, but I didn't keep digging it up every 2 seconds. I really just let it let it bloom on its own. And one day I get the email, okay, this is the date. We'd love to have you. And I did it, and it was just one of the highest points of my life. So being very clear, anytime when I think back that I really, really wanted something, I've got it. And I don't doubt that it's the same for you. And if it hasn't been true in the past, it can most certainly be true in the future. Absolutely. So let's look at Deepak says there's 5 steps to really attaining these intentions and desires. I'm going to go through fairly fast here. You can obviously always read more about this in the chapter in the book, right? The first one is to slip into the gap. And the gap is that place where when you go and you sit quietly or you walk quietly and you create space in your mind, where there is space, there is a gap. There is no more of that constant chatter. You slip into that place. And once you're in that place, then you just release. You plant your intention right there. And then like I did, right, you don't keep digging them up. And that's what I did. And that's a key point. The plants aren't going to grow if you keep digging them up. So just plant it in there. And then the third thing is to remain in a state of self-referral. And what that means is it's going back to what we talked about in the first law, to be influenced by your GPS, not outside influence. It's really to be connected with your true essence, your core. And then the fourth one is to just relinquish your attachment to the outcome. And I love this. Embrace uncertainty. And that means making friends with I don't know. And that ties in with the fifth one, which is just let the universe handle the details. Now, I will be the first to admit that I'm a control freak. I mean, come on, I drove my husband and I to the hospital after my water broke. So pretty much in that control freak place. And it took me a long time for me to embrace some of these steps that I've just mentioned, especially letting the universe handle the details, right? But with this law in mind, use your desire for control to motivate you to get very clear and specific, because that's what you are in control of, right, about what you want, and to define where you are right now, right? You can use your control for that, and then let your control go and just see what opportunities appear. I mean, you'll be amazed at the synchronicity, and Joseph Campbell puts it so beautiful, the thousands of unseen helping hands that appear to help you on your journey. I have a new client who is obviously on the right path, who is clear about, some key elements of her vision, and boy, is it blooming for her. Boy, is it blooming. It is a joy to watch the synchronicity, how easy it is, to go back to last night's law, right? How easy it is when you really embrace this. I really am holding this vision for all of you guys that are listening. And maybe some people, let's just throw it out to everybody, not even just the people that are listening, right? We've got some action steps, right? 3 action steps. Make a list of your desire and carry this list wherever you go. Number 2, create space in your life and in your mind and release the intention and desire into it. And the third one is to remind yourself to practice present moment awareness in all your actions. Now let's get started with some action. Let's go ahead and we're going to do a 10-minute meditation now.